Good morning, this is Mark Harrison with Sewer Line Check Professionals. I'm here at 11610 Chiquita Street in the Studio City area, and I'm preparing to perform a video examination of the main sewer line for Darren Capolato and Elizabeth Beavis. Now, the main sewer line is the portion of the waste drainage piping that is exterior to the structure. It lies underground and connects the building drain line system to the public sewer. The building drain line system then is the portion or portions of the waste drainage piping that is underneath or interior to the structure. Our examination today is not focusing on the building drain line system, so if further evaluation is desired regarding the building drain line system, a licensed plumbing contractor should be contacted, or a specialty building drain line video examination can be set up through our office. So I'm going to be performing my examination today from our 4-inch main sewer line cleanout, the upper end of the system here, and this is located behind this rock in the front planter area to the left of our entryway walkway. Below these windows you'll see we have this large rock here, and just behind it is cleanout. Now there's another cleanout access out in the middle of the front yard out there, but that won't be necessary for our purposes today. I'll go ahead and pop this open, drop down into the horizontal pipe. So we're pushing through a section of modern ABS plastic piping here. So this is a newer pipe that was installed when this house was built here, but a lot of these properties had structures on them prior, and so we'll probably be pushing into an older section here shortly. Now, these modern plastic pipe materials, they are expected to have a very long service life. They have a very smooth inner surface, which allows for very high washout capability, and they are intended, the way these pipe sections are connected, to be impervious to root intrusions. There's our other clean out. We're passing that now, and now we're connecting back to the original clay pipe here. Now, these older clay pipes they're also expected to have a long service life. This is a natural material, being a clay pipe, so it's not expected to deteriorate underground like the older metal pipes would. But they are more brittle in nature and do have a higher potential for damage during seismic activity and earthquake. What we've got here is a short section of this clay pipe, and then we're going back to a plastic pipe here for a little bit. Unclear why they would leave a short section of that in a system rather than just replacing the whole thing. But I didn't see any problems through there that would really concern me. Back to plastic, and now we're connecting up into the 6-inch clay pipe here. This is going to be out in the parkway there near the street. This is the portion of the system that we refer to as the lateral pipe. It's the pipe that comes from the city sewer up to the property and what is connected to when the property is developed. Now, this older pipe section here has had a lining system installed. Now, these lining systems are a method of rehabilitation, or a method intended to rehabilitate an original pipe. And this is fairly common under the street. There's no significant shifts or breaks or cracks, offsets, separations. Oftentimes they'll just blow this liner through rather than replacing that old pipe with a new one. Now, our purpose here today is just to see how the lining system is performing, not necessarily to determine if it is an approved liner. And so far it seems to be doing okay. A little bit of a dip right here, just before we get to the end of the liner. Not exactly sure what that is. Maybe there was a hole in the bottom of the pipe or something. But that's a little unusual. We have a smooth transition then into the older section of pipe. So now we're tying into the original 6-inch pipe that hasn't had a lining system installed. And as we drop down here, you're going to see there's some roots coming down from this opening here at the top of the pipe. We also see some water dripping in from that opening. So this tells us that essentially it's a riser pipe that comes up that was capped off here. That's been compromised. We've got root intrusions in groundwater, and this is a problem. It's considered a compromise of the integrity of the system, and it's something that would dictate repair. Now, whether a lining system could be continued through this drop down to the public sewer is something that would have to be determined by the sewer contractor. That may be an option, or it may require excavation of the street. Now this drop, the top of this drop here, as you see, we go down around, and now we're dropping vertically. You can see those roots are just hanging down into that vertical pipe. The top of that drop is about 8.5 feet deep at the middle of the street. And then we're going to drop vertically the rest of the way down into our public sewer. And that chimney looks like it's intact all the way down. So we're dropping a total of about 8 feet vertically down into our city sewer, and you can see there's just water dripping in here constantly. And more than likely that's groundwater. So what's going to need to happen at this point? I would suggest consulting a qualified and reputable sewer contractor to either review this video or to come out and do his own investigation and determine what the best method of repair for this is going to be. Other than that, the newer plastic is working fine and the lining system appears to be performing. But this is a potentially very significant repair, so it does need to be estimated by a sewer contractor. Oh yeah, here we go. There's a bunch of water coming down there right now. It almost looks like maybe there's another structure tied in here. Alright, well that's a little bit of a different story. There may be roots in the other line that's coming to this. Whether that's approved that more than one structure is sharing a vertical is something that would have to be checked with the city itself. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video portion of this examination. We'll do a little more investigation if we can, but again, this is something that I would suggest is to determine what may or may not need to be done. It's also possible we may need to figure out where this is, which structure or property this is tied into, if it's across the street or next door. And again, this is Mark Harrison with Sewer Line Check Professionals. Thank you very much and have a pleasant day.